Oh, um, good evening. um, Sorry. Still trying to recover from what's been happening to me over like the last 5, 6 hours. Um, y'all already know who it is. Targeted individual CJBK. It is. I think it's 11:08 p.m. Currently traveling between golly, where was I before? And it's like as I'm trying to, and I'm like, Lord, I just left the country and I can't even remember the country I was just in. And the only reason I can't recall it right now is because there's all this energy just flowing through my brain right now. And they have been pulsing this energy through my brain for several hours now. It's interesting because someone said that you're basically saying that I'm kind of brave to go on this trip and know what's happening to people around the world, and then also what they're doing to us. Where? Costa Rica. There we go. So, we're in between Costa Rica and on our way to Panama. Now, I had recently posted on Facebook. It was a picture of me and my little family standing in front of like a sign, like a sign in Costa Rica. And what's interesting is I knew doing what I did to post that picture was going to give me this exact result. And I was kind of banking on it, actually. I was banking on it because I knew it would have been too easy it would have been too easy. It was basically like setting bait out for a fish. It was like setting up bait, and they bit. I said, okay, I'm gonna do something that I'm not gonna regret because I'm pretty sure they're gonna do exactly what I think they're gonna do. I posted the picture. I think while I was still in Costa Rica, and then shortly after posting it, all of a sudden I start to get this like, matter of fact, you can almost see like a dent right here where I've been feeling the pulse is at. It's like right here. Yeah, it's like right here. There's like I don't even know if, hold on. Nah, that's an actual dent. That's an actual dent in my skull right here. And then if I were to check this side, it's not the same depth. So this dent here, this dent right here, I don't have that here. But there is a dent that was created right here. And between here, the back of my head, this they've been pulsing energy here too. Um, this one here, and then in my gums, it feel like they're like heating the tissue of my gums too. And there's like it's like there's like this I don't know, it's like a sore or blister, not like a blister or something. Like they're trying to create an infection in my teeth, or in my gums. I mean, they everything that they're doing, I already expected it, and I don't regret it. Because at the end of the day, it makes no sense to try to hide from something that basically is literally everywhere. You can't hide from this. The best thing you could do is just keep telling your experiences and make sure that you tell the world about what you're experiencing, because this is a wireless sensor network kill system that is on a global scale. No matter what country you are in, no matter what part of the world you're in, they are using all these different, it's satellite because I'm in the middle of the ocean. I'm in the middle of the ocean right now. And they have been hitting me from all fronts. So many different things inside of my cabin has been resonating with my body, and they've been transferring energy from different things in my cabin to my body. Not just the phone, but and that's something else I noticed over time too, is they've been increasing the energy output coming from my new phone. Like I told you before in the past, I had a iPhone, and that was pumping out so much. The iPhone was basically pumping out so much radiation that I took the time to do some research and found out that iPhones literally do emit much more radiation than most Android phones. So I went and got me a Samsung, right? Got me a Samsung. I said, you know what? I'm done with Apple. I don't wear Bluetooth headphones. I feel like TI should already know by now. You shouldn't be using wireless anything. Shouldn't be putting anything wireless in your ears. Most of the time, you shouldn't even be having your Wi-Fi on. Shouldn't even have your Bluetooth on. And those of you using Wi-Fi calling, that also puts out even more energy too. But all right. Overall, I'm gonna say that it was still a pretty good experience. I'm going to Costa Rica. I still had a good time. My girlfriend and I both know that they are remote neural stimulating her son, because he is a bright kid, but I have learned over time that he is like hypersensitive to things. And then, I mean, today wasn't too hot. It was humid, and it was about like 82 degrees. 82 degrees is not that hot. But the way he kept like fanning himself constantly, and then you know there's these moments where it seems like he has these like, I don't know, it's almost like these moments where he kind of forgets things like that. And I watch both of them. I watch and I observe both of them because I feel like, because I have been more aware of this targeting experience than they have. I mean, than they have been. Well, of course he doesn't know about it, but my girl, she didn't learn about targeting and stuff until I explained to her about what I was going through, and then eventually she then started to realize. She was like, wait, I always felt like something was oddly happening in my life and whatnot, but she would say she just didn't really know, but she just always felt like something odd has always been happening in her life, especially when it came to all right, I'm not going to get into too many details with her, but yeah, when I posted that picture, in one sense, it was an assurity for those people who knew me prior to my targeting, because people online claim that they're very concerned about me. They're worried. You got some people that want to say, oh, maybe you need to get psychological help, da da da, and I'm like, no, it's not what you think it is. I'm literally posting the studies. I'm literally posting the patents. I'm posting the videos and interviews of former intelligence agents, former military personnel who are speaking out against this crime against humanity, and people still don't want to look at the facts that I've been posting, and they'll say, oh, Kristen went crazy. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna wish this on nobody, but it's gonna be the worst thing in all of their lives if most people don't even realize most of the things that they have happening to their health are not naturally happening. They're not natural occurrences. It's not natural deterioration or anything. Because you gotta, like, one thing I've been learning about the human body, between the physical human body and the spiritual body, or the energy body. The energy body helps the physical body heal in so many miraculous ways. But you have to understand, when you are exposed to extremely low frequencies or electromagnetic radiation, or low dose electromagnetic radiation through long periods of time, your cells break down. Your cells go through a type of that's right. They trying to clean the pool deck. Your cells go through a type of cellular death. They're because our bodies are not meant to be absorbing the amount of radiation that we are experiencing. Our bodies are not meant to experience the type of radiation absorption that we are going through in this present day. The amount of radiation we are going through is nothing compared to what our ancestors, or let's say, hell, you go back maybe to like before the 60s or before the 50s, people weren't being exposed to the amount of electromagnetic radiation as we are now. And it's sad that a lot of people, it's sad that most of the world have not really been put on game, or I don't want to say put on game, or been made aware to the type of damage that could be done to the body through long period exposure to electromagnetic radiation. And the effects that it can have on the cells in our body, not just the neurological, but it literally kills the cells in your body slowly. And then when people get cuts and they wonder why it takes the cut a long time to heal, or when they get injured, like from like a type of contusion or bruise, or when you tear ligaments or something like that, and they wonder how come it takes so long to heal. Well, that's because we're living in this electromagnetic smog that's basically killing our cells as they're trying to heal. Now, the one thing I'm also acknowledging too is that they're very selective. They're very selective in who they target and who can heal in fast times and who cannot. V2K, they talking they shit right now, but I mean, at this point, it's like I have to keep telling my story, because if I don't tell my story, then it's just gonna be, oh, I'm just gonna get sick and die. No. I have to make sure that there is content behind everything that I do and say. And I can't give them the benefit of a doubt of me just dying quietly. Because when I have already been doing the research and I have been exposing myself to so much information, and sometimes the information could be overwhelming, but you know what? I don't have the privilege of basically allowing myself to feel overwhelmed. I have to allow myself to take in all information and just give myself time to process little by little by little. Yes, it's a lot of information, but you know what? I don't have the privilege to be overwhelmed. I have to try to understand as much as I can, because for the time being that I'm here on this earth, I must do my part under the watchful eyes of the Heavenly Father. I must do my part. I just got chills when I said that. I have to do my part to make sure that I let the world know that they're not getting away with nothing. They're not getting away with nothing. It's only but a matter of time. And you got to remember, these bodies that we're in, they're temporary. These bodies that we're in, they're temporary. So I always love to remind myself of the scripture, he who loveth his life loseth it, right? So it's like, you have to remind yourself that we're not necessarily meant to live in these bodies for the sake of, I don't know, just, I don't know, it's like our physical body is not as important as we think. Our need to live in this density, in this dimension, is not as important as we think. What we actually need is to help each other in our living experiences on this earth. And this is how I'm trying to help. They tell me V2K, they're always like, Chris, you can't do nothing for nobody. You can't help nobody. You can't protect nobody. All you doing is waking people up, and you don't have no way to protect nobody. Well, the first step in learning how to defend yourself is awareness. One of the first steps you learn about defending yourself is making yourself aware of your threats, making yourself aware of, situations. And then it's funny because as they've been messing with my neural functioning and my cognition, they've been saying a lot more things. They've been saying this statement a lot more, like Chris's situational, situational, I think they said situational awareness is some basically along the lines like his situational awareness is deteriorating, something like that, or I'm lacking situational awareness, or something like that. It's like here, here, all through here, and like right here. Those are the at least the parts of the brain that I feel them, I guess, routing these electromagnetic waves through. Oh yeah, I should probably just go inside. One second. Let them do their job. Situational awareness. I forgot. I can't even remember how they phrase it, but okay, so and it's like I said, when I do that, when I'm like breathing out like that, it's like the cells in my body are being heated up so much that it's creating this, like, I guess it's like the oxidative stress from the cells being heated up from the waves passing through my tissue. I have to breathe out in order to try to see if I can release some of that gas, even though the cells are being killed through the heating of the electromagnetic waves. When I breathe out like that, I feel like it's decreasing the pressure of the gas that's filling up inside my brain cavity. And most of it is coming from just more, like literally just the right side, the right hemisphere of the brain. Everything is happening to the right hemisphere of the brain. But I'm gonna tell you what I've been doing to try to help myself at least endure the attack. When I got back on the ship, I was I couldn't even focus on them. I couldn't even I first thing I did was just like turned my phone off. I put my room key, took my phone, put it in the Faraday bag, took my room key, put it in the Faraday bag. Took my wallet that had all my cards in it that had magnetic strips or RFID chips on it. Threw it in the Faraday bag, and then I put it in the safe. Only thing I'm kind of mad about is that the safe isn't like sealed. So it's like even when oh my goodness, the ship is rocking, and I don't normally get motion sickness or anything like that. Growing up, I never really had too many health. I don't think I ever really had health problems growing up. Oh wait, so remember I told you I wanted to get my hair cut low because I wanted to start palpating and feeling my skull a little bit more. Okay, now you see this? Apparently, this right here. Apparently, there's these videos online where people talk about something that used to, something called the GATE program. And the GATE program was supposed to be some type of like, basically it was like some type of like testing or observation of particular children who, they've been told that they may be gifted and they have to be tested on certain things or whatever. But when they say gifted, first, apparently it was a CIA ran program because they were trying to see if they can find children who may have, psychic abilities, something like that, blah, blah, blah. Now, one of the things in the video that they mentioned was that many kids who were probably in that GATE program had this thing protruding out the back of their head, right? My mother, for years, she never really knew what that was. She would always, and I remember her always touching the back of my head. She's like, I don't know what that is, but I don't know. But I don't know if I could recall all the details, but there are certain things that I remember from that video where the guy was talking about, if you remember doing things like, building ships or bridges and stuff out of like toothpicks, or there were like these color coded games, or there was there was like all these different tests that they had children do, and I feel like I might remember something like that, but I can't fully recall. But in addition to that, though, I mean, obviously too that they're trying to control. They're controlling to a degree my memory recall, and I've been watching a lot of videos about esoteric things and past lives and stuff like that. And you know what? I'm actually starting to believe that us as human beings, and especially in our DNA, we have so much information about us that we probably should be able to easily just be able to think, reach out, and grab, and that's information that we should always be able to have access to, right? But for whatever reason, because of this technology, they act as gatekeepers, and they basically try to control what you can remember and when you can remember it. But there are moments throughout our lives where, I don't know, maybe they have like these moments where they kind of like, I don't know, there was like a gap where maybe they weren't paying enough attention to us at some point, and then all of a sudden we have these moments where we remember things. And sometimes it could be things, we might even have flashing images of, I don't know, things that might feel familiar, even though we don't necessarily remember it being us ourselves. Like, I don't know how many times you probably heard of people talk about, there's all these like videos where like there's children who remember having a past life, and these kids would be like younger than the age of 8, and for whatever reason they can remember that they used to be this person, then they died or something like that. I mean, I don't think I've ever had that experience. I mean, at least I can't recall at the moment, because my memory is just like it's being blocked. But for the most part, yeah, there's a dent here, and that's from the waves, the energy waves, electromagnetic waves, burrowing through and resonating with the part of my brain here. There's a dent here that's not on this side of my head. Then I don't know, but there's so much still that has to be learned about ourselves, and I don't know. But anyway, so what I did, right, when we got back on the ship, I had them go ahead to get something to eat, because I needed to find a way to control how I was perceiving my pain and the pulsing of the energy that they have flowing through me. Now I'm gonna show you all the different places, like when I didn't have my phone and stuff on me. I'm gonna show you all the different places that they're routing this energy. Okay, now so when you think about the wireless sensor network and the wireless body area network, it's a multi-hop system. It's like when you think about how cell phones and cell towers work, right? Your phone is basically a transmitter and receiver, and it pings off of towers, right? And then as you're like moving, like if you're driving down the street and your cell phone, so like let's say this hand is a phone, there's a cell tower here. So as you're moving past one tower, your phone is connected to this tower, but then as it moves away from that tower, it hops to another tower, it pings to another tower, right? In this sensor network, in this wireless sensor network, um, we have multiple nodes throughout our body. Um, and they prefer, well, I think most of the time these nodes are positioned in places where there tend to be, I guess, more nerves or like areas where there's packs of nerve, like bunches of nerves or whatever, bundles of nerves. So one, you got the root chakra, or the root chakra, and there is an area. It's not necessarily. It's like kind of in that space in between where your sex organs are and then your anus. There's a space in between there, right? And the way energy naturally flows through your body is it comes down through the head, down the center of your body, and then it kind of flows out like this, and then kind of flows back like that. So they call it a toroidal field, right? So what I believe they've done was they've basically intercepted, or they have like intertwined, or maybe just hacked into our energy flow, or they've I guess you could say they have layered their energy into our energy flow, right? So my hand, right, especially about like right here, because a lot of times most of the energy I could feel is usually coming from the right side of my body. They're usually always attacking the right side of the body. Hence, if some of you who know a little bit about esoteric things, you got your left hand path and you got your right hand path. Your left hand path is supposed to be like the dark side, and then your right hand path is supposed to be like the more benevolent side. Here, I can actually feel it. I could feel like this cord, or this beam of energy, and it's hitting my hand. And you see, I'm not actually touching. I'm not touching myself, but I can feel this like energy cord hitting my palm, right? But it loops. It's like coming from down here, and it loops up like this, and then it's going into the brain here. This might be a little TMI, but I'm like, why did that open up? Nobody, I don't even think nobody's in that elevator. The elevator just happened to just open up, and nobody pressed it, and nobody came out. Anyway, sorry, it was like that was a distraction. But right, so they being the V2K, they mention two specific energies that's supposed to be very prominent in me, or pronounced in me. They focus on what's called my sexual energy and my emotional energy. The sexual energy obviously will come from down here, right? Where your sex organs are. They are like overstimulating, or now the second elevator is okay. So they might be just doing a test or something to make sure the elevators work or something. But anyway, sexual energy seems like it's being like amplified. Like I don't know, maybe like Like I've told you all before that I was when I was a child, I was sexually abused. I think I was only like 5 years old, and I don't know. Like throughout my life, I've always been, I've always had um, a well, I don't know. I've always been, I guess, like sexually active or hyper stimulated when it comes to anything sexual arousal or anything like that. So it's like I'll be like hyper stimulated, and what I notice is they're using that energy, right? And of course, if you learn about loose energy, they torment they torment people in order to get you to produce a specific type of energy, loose energy. Loose energy usually comes from trauma, pain, basically anything that kind of like, anything that basically like, so you could tell now because I was flowing, and then all of a sudden I started to feel the pressure build up again. So that's how you know I'm saying too much. Rather, like I'm saying things that they don't want people to know. But anyway, so throughout the years of my life, I guess maybe because obviously this technology has been around for decades. So growing up in the 90s, the 90s, sex was everywhere, especially growing up in New York City. So it's like, I think they've been secretly conditioning me to have this abundance of sexual energy, and then they're like they've been like, I guess, secretly stimulating me to always feel aroused or want to seek more ways of being aroused or something like that. But anyway, so I guess once that energy became so strong and it was time for me to become targeted, they started to utilize that energy. They turn that energy now into a source to try to control my neural functions. They said, oh, he got a lot of sexual energy. So what they're doing now is they're using that energy as a source, and it loops up, and it's doing so much damage to like my prefrontal cortex. And they're using it to stimulate and control the neural functions of, control my neural functions. So it's like a loop. It's like a feed. It's like a loop system. It's like they're looping or recycling energy, like energy that probably should just be leaving my body and like just like going into the earth. Instead of it going out, they're redirecting it back into my body. Remember, I'm no expert in any of this. I'm just explaining in the best ways possible of my experience. So, yeah, this looping, recycled energy to try to control my neural functions. And then the emotional energy, your emotions are controlled from your heart center. Not like the heart, but your heart center is when you learn about chakras and stuff, your heart center deals with your emotions. So their main focus is to take my I guess my sexual energy and use that as an energy source to try to manipulate my neural functions and cognition. And then when they want to really disrupt how I naturally move and operate, because I am very in tune with my emotions, and I have learned that I have a high emotional intelligence. So it's like I can be emotional, but then I also understand my emotions. I'm not someone who instantly reacts and express every emotion whenever I want. No, I have the ability to take a moment to calm myself and analyze my emotion before I make any decisions or before I do anything, right? So what they try to do a lot more of is try to see if they can stimulate specific emotions in me to try to basically control my decision making, or control me in so many ways. Because if I don't feel stable, like emotionally stable, then a lot of times I don't do too much, because I am one of those people where if it's not something that it's a must do, like it's something that's like I have, like it's an extreme important thing that I have to do, then sometimes my emotions will not allow me, or I won't do whatever needs to be done, or whatever. Like, I don't know, like if I know that like I got cereal in the house but no milk, and I don't know, sometimes if I'm just not feeling a certain type of way, like I don't feel like I want to go outside or something like that, then hey, I just won't go outside. So what they do is they basically have learned that, oh, he's emotional, so we're going to set him on specific emotions, like anxiety or anything like that. We're going to set him with specific emotions, so then we can control what he does, because he's not going to do certain things if he doesn't feel emotionally sound or emotionally stable. So I've learned that part, and I think some people watching these videos of mine, they probably can relate to certain things. And I know I'll make these long ass videos, and sometimes it's hard to try to like watch the whole thing through and really understand what I'm trying to get out. But I'm just like, I'm sorry, I wish I had the energy to really want to edit my videos and go through them. But most of the time I record my videos and I just post them. You get the raw. You get the real time. Like no editing, no cuts, no nothing. Like whatever I post, that's exactly how I don't even rewatch my videos. So most of the time, because I feel like I would never say anything that would be a intentional intentionally destructive. Yeah, and that was, it's funny because now all of a sudden I feel pressure decreasing in the head. So it's like that. And but this is one of the things that I've learned is like when you learn to start calling out things that's happening to you, all of a sudden they start to. It almost seems like they go, "Oh, he figured it out. All right, all right, all right." You know, because that's how I know it's a test. Is they're testing things. They're testing this weapon system on us. Because it's like, and the worst part is, they're not even really, they're not helping nobody. They're not helping nobody because when you look around, people who are always, people who are probably already psychopaths, murderers, thieves, rapists, pedophiles, and all that, they're not doing nothing to them. They're not doing nothing to them. They're basically giving them the keys to the world. But people like me, people who have self-control, they're trying to flip us. They're trying to flip us. They're trying to make it so that like people who have self-control and who have moral standards, they're like, oh no, this person can't, no, this person, no. We gotta get rid of him because he has a moral conscience. Like, we gotta get rid of him. We gotta make him look terrible so then we could stand up and, we could look better. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's strange. It's strange, It's like all the times that you hear the stories about like, hell on earth, when good is now becoming bad and bad is now becoming good. This is exactly it. Good people are being tormented while everyone else is basically being given keys to the world, while those of us who basically have an abundance of love and sympathy and empathy for other people, we're being I don't want to say slaughtered, but anyway, so yeah, you got that one that's looping, and then it comes here. They manipulate the emotional energy, but now as far as the sensor network within the body, I've located several nodes, like I said before. Got one here. There's one here in my right knee, or at least I know it's energy coming out of the right knee, and then it's like, let me see, where's it going? So you see how I kind of like, I do this, I pinch the wave, and then I can track it. Once I pinch it, I can feel the vibration in between my thumb and index finger, and I track it. That one, one's kind of going towards like the side and the back of the head. Then there's one back here. There's a node here, and it's pulsing energy into my left jaw, and there, this growth, or I don't know if it's I'm not even sure what this is, but ever since they've been pumping energy from my right shoulder, or from the node that's in my right shoulder, it's connecting directly here, and they've been pulsing energy into here. And sometimes it goes down, sometimes I might be able to do something to interfere with the energy flow, and might feel it. This lump decrease. Let me see. Yeah, it's yeah. See that? My teeth. My teeth are where my index finger is, right? And then right here, there's this lump or this growth. But that's being pulsed with energy coming from my left shoulder. Yeah, right here. Right here. And it connects and it's going right here. Then, where else? It's in the left shoulder, right knee, there. Got nodes throughout the brain. I feel it must be nodes somewhere right here because they're always hitting me pretty much in like the same spot, close to my heart, right here, and I can feel the energy coming out. I think it's probably resonating with my phone, but so it's like it's strange though because it's like it's coming out like this, and then when I get about here, it's almost like I could feel it connected to other things. Like I could feel it connected to other things. And I could literally track and follow it around, and I could feel it like interfering with so many other different cords that's connected to my body. Like I feel like I'm the sun that has this gravitational pull of so much energy, and there's all these different cords connecting to my body. And I you know I did something today too. While I was trying to figure out what I could do to try to see if I could interfere with the pathways that the energy is flowing. I took an orange peel. I took an orange peel, and I had placed it on this area where they were like, it was just like dumping, like just like it was, and nobody has a pulse right here. There's no pulse. No one has a pulse right here. But I have these energy waves that are pulsing, and they're basically burrowing a hole, like a almost kind of like a small size hole right through the skull going into the brain or something. But anyway, it actually did interfere quite a bit though, and it makes sense too because remember, energy scatters in water, right? And an orange peel is thick, and it also contains water. So when I don't know, it just came to me out of nowhere. I had a drink, and it had like a sliced orange on it. So I took I bit the inner part of the orange, and I just had the peel. And I don't know, I just said, and I just put it there. And then all of a sudden, I could feel the energy pulsing through the peel, but it was almost as if like the peel was absorbing the energy pulsing on that area. And then I felt this sense of relief. And I was like, what? I was like, God, keep feeding me, because I was like, are you telling me that this orange peel is actually giving me relief? And you also got to remember, most of the vitamin C of oranges are in the peel. I don't have no real scientific proof of any of this. I haven't like this is just something I tried, and I was like, oh wow, it worked. And then it reminds me of how some TI said that they took if you took a Ziploc bag and filled it with water. I think some people even said they took like a towel, soaked it with water, and then they just they wrapped it around their head, or they put it over their heart when they're getting attacked, and they would feel like some of the energy kind of dissipate a little bit. And I've tried it. It actually does work to some degree. But of course, you got to remember, this is an AI powered system, so the AI will just basically find another route. So it's like if I was to put a bag right here while they're attacking my heart, they'll say, okay, like it's almost like the AI just like, okay, so there's some interference there, then I'll just find another pathway to get to the same spot. So instead of trying to go straight ahead, it'll try to find a way to bend around the bag, right? Like the AI will just basically find another pathway just to get to the same area, the same target spot. But yeah, I felt it does work to a degree, but it's like it's the system in itself. It's the AI system in itself that we're really battling against. Because I know a lot of times, well, through some research in the past, I found out with the older targeting technology, people said that they were able to, they would be sitting in one place in their home, and then they would get attacked, and then they would move. They would move from the area, and then next thing you know, they would get relief, and then all of a sudden they would feel like they're being followed with the energy. Like the energy would eventually catch up to wherever they are in the home. This is like the older targeting technology. Probably people who've been targeted for like 15 plus years, they probably know what I'm talking about, where they used to feel like the energy followed them in their home. But now in today's time, because the system has a lot more sensors, and there's a lot more electromagnetic radiation in the atmosphere and whatnot, plus AI, it's like a full-on lock-on target system now. So it's like now they made it so that it doesn't matter if you move from one place to another, you're still going to be feeling the same intensity no matter what, until you were to go somewhere where I guess maybe where the walls, they say certain building materials can interfere with the energy, and I realize that too. Like there's times where I deliver to office buildings. There's times where I deliver to office buildings, and my V2K would not completely turn off, but it would be the volume decreases dramatic. Especially when I went into let's say the World Trade Center. Whenever I had a delivery in the World Trade Center, I have to go to the messenger center, and the messenger center is kind of like the messenger center is kind of like in like almost like the basement. Not really the basement, but it's like on a lower level. But you also realize it's the World Trade Center, so they built that building up to have certain types of materials and protections to I guess prevent interference from too many different outside things, whatever. So there's that. But anyway, so yeah, I tried the orange peel. That worked quite a bit, and then I remembered something else. I was like, right, what is the frequency for the sacral chakra? Because I was like, I realized a lot of times when I'm feeling a lot of attacks and throbbings and whatnot to my head, it's mostly coming from that beam that's looping from down here, right? But it like loops up, but it goes up almost like in a straight line, and then it comes here. So like me doing this with my hand like that, I can feel it hitting my palm, and it's going up like this, and then it connects to the brain. So 417 hertz. I started playing that. I started playing 417 hertz, and once I started playing 417 hertz, that's when I started to feel some of that energy like decrease considerably. Like the energy I started to feel it decrease considerably. Not stop, but at 417 hertz, I felt like I don't know, like it was basically, I don't even know how to really describe it, but when I was playing 417 hertz, it was decreasing the amount of energy that was just flowing and stimulating my brain. Oh my goodness, I need to get to bed because we gotta be up at like 6:30 or 7 because we gotta go on an excursion at like 8:15 in the morning. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I spoke on what was going on today because none of us know when our day is going to come for us to leave this earth. So, but I just always want to say that, like, as long as I get my experience out there, I know I could possibly, whatever I'm going through and whatever I'm experiencing or whatever I do to help myself, it might help someone else. So it's like, I have to make these videos. I have to expose them because, I mean, hell, they don't think that their time is running out, but even Satan knows he has a time limit. Even Satan knows that he could only rule the earth for but so much time. You know, so yeah. Still trying to work on finding ways to see if I could interfere with this. I didn't bring too much borax with me. I brought like a small little pack of borax in this like little plastic bag with like a kind of like a squeeze bag. And what I was doing was I would fill it with water, shake it up, let some of the borax dissolve in it, and then I would drink some of it, right? Then what I also did too was I would take that same solution and I would mix it with some shea butter, or you could probably use like a type of I use shea butter because it's more fattier, and because they're heating my skin up and drying the skin, the fat content of shea butter I think it like helps go into the body and creates like a nice barrier in a sense. But mixing it with that borax water, it almost kind of create like almost like like it just creates like a barrier. It doesn't stop it completely, but it does reduce the amount of energy is just that's just flowing into the body. Um, I think that's pretty much it. I'm tired anyway. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I make this video and let y'all know I'm all right. And yeah, because if anything happened to me, I'm like, hey, I already told y'all what's up, and I already expected them to do what they've been doing for the last few hours, because I was like, I mean, for the most part, look, they already, like, the secret society already knew I was on this cruise. So me putting that picture up on Facebook of me in Costa Rica, and I'm like, I thought about it and I was like, they already know I'm here. So yeah, still can't we don't have the privilege of just letting fear control us. We don't have that privilege, because when you're chosen by God to endure such a thing as what we're going through, you have to learn to endure and then connect with source, connect with God, because God, if you want answers, and remember, you have to work. God is not just going to give you things and you're just not going to do anything. Like, God isn't just going to give you answers if you're not trying to seek them. You know? And understanding that we're dealing with an AIB system, it's not going to be easy. You might find one thing that works, and then the AI is going to be like, oh, word? You going to cause interference? All right, adjust. You have to adjust too. And it's a lifelong process. I mean, hearing about people who've been targeted for 20 plus years, God, give that person strength, because I'm like, yo, I'm only in year 5 right now, and I'm like, yo, this is insane. I'm thinking about how bad, like, I'm being tormented, and living in New York City, watching all the treacherous things that's happening, and I'm like, so you telling me none of those people are being targeted, right? None of those people are being normally controlled to not do what they're doing, but they would rather try to see if they can take someone who is not confrontational, not violent, not a sexual deviant or whatever. They would rather take that person and try to turn them into a monster, or turn them into this feeble or docile or a scary person. It's like, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's like it's as if, like, they gave Scar from Lion King superpowers, and then they took like Simba or Mufasa, and then basically used advanced weaponry to turn them into, like, not weak, but like giving them, like, well, basically weakening them so that they feel like they can't be strong enough to, fend off against people like Scar. And I'm like, yo, when you think about it, we have to speak up, because that's what they're most afraid of. They need the shadows in order to operate. They need the shadows. See, we as people of light, we've always been living in the light. We don't need the shadows. We already living. We living and we loving. Everybody who's working in the shadows, they're afraid to live and they're afraid to love. Remember that. Everyone who's working in shadows, they're afraid to live and they're afraid to love. And I'm talking about that that I'm talking about natural love, not just you love someone for what they do, or you love someone because they're they got your, they share the same blood. I'm talking about loving someone because it's just right to show love to someone, because every person in the world needs to feel loved. And you don't have to know a person in order to love them. You don't have to know a person to love them. And God gives love to us abundantly. But hey, just gonna keep on pushing. As always, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.